Welcome back to another biking video and doing stuff and filming it. I have a ride out tomorrow, which means I need the Virago back. Right, let's get the Virago out of her winter slumber, shall we call it. Now, I did say when I first put the bike away for winter, I made a whole video about it, that taking it out was going to be the reverse of what I did. Kind of like you'd see in Haynes instruction manuals. Reassembly is the reverse of disassembly. Well, yeah, okay. Kind of knew that. The only problem is I can't remember everything that I did. Now, I could go back and watch my own video, or I'm fairly sure I have the list written down somewhere. But I'm a man and we don't follow instructions, so we're just going to have at it and hope that I can remember it.
Got something complicated to put together? Don't use the instructions. Be a man.
Things I do remember, we need to let some air out of the tyres. We should probably take all the crap off it that's piled up. The battery has been on its maintainer for several months now. 3 months at least, maybe 4. Can't really remember. And of course we have all the damp proofing that I want to inspect. I just generally give her a look over, and then at the end we'll see if she starts. Should, hopefully, be a quick and simple video this, partly because I really am going on a ride out the day after filming it, and partly because I've been procrastinating about filming March's episodes for the channel, and it's now the 28th of February when I'm filming this, so I need to get a shift on. Right, let's start. Well, let's just uncover and see what's underneath. Right, let's see what we still have. She is beautiful. He looks beautiful. There's very minimal dust. And in case you're wondering, I'm getting back on the Life and King series next month. It's proven to be a lot of fucking work, is that, and then of course the editing is even more work. I wonder if my disc lock is still working after all this time. Apparently not. That's a bit of a fuck up. How has that happened? Because the one for the Life and King is exactly the same, and that still works, and I've had it 2 years. But this one, the battery seems to be flat. Yeah. Either that or it's just fogged. I mean, obviously it still works as a lock, but it's supposed to be alarmed. That's quite disappointing. Alright. No sign of any damage. No sign of any rodent infestations. That's good. Ah. I'll show you this. This is the only bit of damage that's occurred to this bike, and it happened before I put it into storage. It's one of the reasons it prompted me to put it into storage. In there, a mouse has got in there and made a nice little bed for itself. I think I mentioned this in the wrapping it up video when I put the bike away, but yeah, it's chewed all the stuffing out. Thankfully, it didn't damage the leather on the other side, although you can feel there is a gap in it now. Fortunately, I never have pillion passengers. I don't want pillion passengers. Get your own bike. But yeah, that was quite annoying because I really like this bike. Maybe one day I'll find a way to fix it, but yeah, it'll be okay for now. Now, damp proofing. Not sure what to make of this. Show you on camera again. So these are the things I put 3 of them under the bike. Actually, I think there's a 4th one somewhere, but I can't remember where. And in case you haven't seen these before, they basically absorb moisture from the air. I just wanted to try and keep it as dry as possible under there. Obviously, it's not getting rained on, but through winter, you're going to get a lot of damp condensation. Normally, you end up with this bit full of water by the time they're done with, and these bits at the top sort of dissolve into it. They absorb the moisture and dissolve down into the bottom, and then you throw them away. All 3 though, this has turned to, it's solid. So they've obviously done something, but perhaps not what I expected them to do. Yeah, I mean, it says here on the instructions, once the product has absorbed the full amount of water, in brackets, when all the granules have turned to gel, place in a plastic bag and throw away carefully with normal household waste. But they haven't turned to gel. They've just gone, they're rock hard. It's like I'm holding an actual rock. I can't break it up or anything. I mean, they've obviously done something, but interesting. Maybe I'll look up why that happens later. They do, however, still smell of fresh linen, as it says on the label. So my bike should smell nice. Film this bit by hand, because we plugged up the intake with this cloth. Excellent. Bit mucky, but it wasn't exactly clean when I stuffed it in there, but no sign of it being chewed by rodents, not even really any dirt, you know, like leaves and dust. Good. That part of it seems to have worked. Right, battery. Now, the unboxing and review video that I did for this little Halfords trickle charger actually proved to be a lot more popular than I thought it was going to be. And I had a lot of people asking me for the instructions and such like, and I ended up making a video basically just reading the instructions out, because people wanted that and they seem to have lost the instructions themselves. Absolutely fine. One thing I wasn't able to do at the time though was a long-term test. So you can take this that I'm about to do as the conclusion of that long-term test. It's been sat here for 3 months. Can't really I mean, I could leave it here for longer, but I want to ride the damn bike, so let's see what we've got. So it's still on, and that's putting out 13.5 volts. When I measured it a second ago, it was putting out 13.5 volts, and then it dropped to say 1 volt. It's obviously come back up now. But 13.5 is normally what you charge a 12 volt battery at, you know, about 13 to 14 volts. Obviously that occasionally cuts itself out. So based on what I've just seen, it sounds like it just puts in a little bit of charge every now and then. I don't know how long those charges are, or how long it cuts out. It probably does like a minute on, minute off. I'm not going to stand around and wait, but that certainly seems to be what it does, which makes perfect sense to me. Let's unplug the charger and throw it on the floor. So we're showing 13.5. That'll probably start to come down now that it's off the charger. Before we put the seat back on, we'll do that last. Let's check the fuel and let's see if she still starts. I will say I don't have much experience with bad fuel. Until a couple of years ago, it's not something I ever really took into account, even on my project cars. Cars just seem to be able to handle bad fuel better than bikes. It's just not something you really take into consideration, except on extremely old cars. However, I do know that when fuel does go bad, it smells foul and it just looks off. It's hard to describe. It won't be off in colour and the viscosity will be wrong. And I quite like the smell of petrol, but it smells foul when it's gone off. So let's open her up. Let's have a look. Now, I did fill this to the brim before putting it in storage, and in the previous video on this subject I did explain my reasons behind that as well. And it is still full to the top. Let's give her a sniff. It still smells like petrol. It's exactly what I was expecting. I'll give you a close-up view of it. It's petrol. It's maybe not coming across on the camera very well, but it still has that faint yellowy colour that petrol has to it. Obviously, I can only describe the smell, but that's great. We don't appear to have lost any either, so I know there's a good seal. I don't really know what else to say about it. I'm happy with that. That's worked really well. Mind you, I never really did subscribe to the idea that fuel goes off like milk does. Some people, I think the shortest I've heard people say was 2 or 3 days before fuel starts going off. It's just not true. I get certain engines, smaller engines like lawnmowers for example, may be more sensitive to off fuel, but honestly, I've left fuel in my lawnmower over winter before and then just used it and it just starts fine. Modern fuels are really quite stable. It takes a long time for them to go off. Yeah, it's just not a thing. Last check of the battery voltage, still holding at 13.5. That's a little concerning. Has it overcharged the battery? I think not. I think perhaps what's happening is it's just been kept topped up at maximum charge for so long, it's going to take a while to come down. Like if I'd ridden this bike for 1,000 miles, I'd probably get the same result. At least that's what I'm hoping anyway. Really don't want to be trying to source a battery with less than 24 hours to go. I am, however, going to leave the seat off until after I know she starts and runs okay, because I may end up taking the seat back off again. Okay, right. Let's just fire her up, see what happens. Okay, good. We've got a good neutral light. Headlights are working. That's working. That's good. Little parking side light thing's working. Flasher works. And beam. Brake light is working. On both. Right. Moment of truth, I guess. Let's give it some choke, shall we? I suppose it's been a while. Oh! It needs full choke, but it's working. Oh, that was too soon to rev it. Let's try again. Smells of unburnt fuel in here now. She's maybe missing a little on one of the cylinders, but if I'm honest, she's always done that from stone cold starts. She'll be fine for tomorrow. That's a nice idle as well. Oh. Fucking hell, it's smoky in here now. I really need to stop starting engines in enclosed spaces. Never mind. I'm happy with that. I think she is definitely misfiring. Like I say, she's done that from cold since I've got her. I am planning, I met a chap at a biker cafe the other day who runs a garage not too far from me, and we got talking and he was talking about all the things he could do. He's got advanced carb balancing tools. Yeah, he was like a walking encyclopedia for motorbikes. I'm bringing her out of hibernation maybe about a month earlier than I intended to, but I think she'll be alright for tomorrow. It'll give me a chance to refresh my memory of how she's performing, and then I'm going to book it in with him and just get it done. I could go down the route of having a go at it myself and making YouTube videos about it, but I've got plenty to be getting on with in terms of content, and his skills are way above mine, so fine, absolutely fine. He can just do it for me. But that I'm really pleased with. Full choke to start, not unexpected. It's still like 2 degrees at the moment, and it hasn't run in a long time, but once I remembered to put the choke on, she started first time, which is fucking brilliant. I want to do it again though. Yeah, she just needs to warm up. Right, let's put the rest back together. Seat can go on first. The 10mm socket landed on the floor and has fucked off. I'm really impressed with this. I am really very happy with how this has turned out. This is great. I kind of knew, because I know this is a good bike, that it was going to be like this, but at the back of my head I'm always thinking something's going to have gone wrong. I'm going to find a fucking mouse has got up in it and ruined the whole fucking thing, or something's going to have seized up, or the battery maintainer won't have worked and I'll have a flat battery. Everything's just gone really well. I'm really fucking happy with it. Point to Yamaha, this is fantastic. Yeah, happy with that. Right, last thing, we need to check the air in the tyres. I pumped them up initially, they need to come back down, but we also need to just see if they've lost air at all whilst it's been in storage. So, yeah, let's do that now, and that's about it, we're ready to ride. Right, so, according to the manual, we are aiming for 29 on the front, 36 on the back. That is on 32. Okay, we'll just let a little bit out. There we go. Let's do the back one. Why is the valve up there? Why did I park it like this? Fucking hell. Okay, right, that one is down a touch from the specification. Now, I may have let a little bit out there, but not that much. It's only off by sort of 3 psi. go, that's better. I do anyway, but we'll keep an eye on tyre pressures this season. And that is it. I am really quite happy with how that's come out. The way that she started, well, I suppose it was technically second attempt, but that's only because I forgot to put the choke on. It's absolutely great, yeah. Only area of little bit of concern is the tyre pressures, but I check them regularly anyway, so I'll know over the coming months if there's anything wrong with them. Obviously the batteries in my disc lock need changing. That's also a bit concerning. But yeah, I am really happy with this bike. She's done very well. Only other checks I would normally make after this long of hibernation, you could say I'm really struggling to find my words today. Lights and levels, I've done the lights, you saw there isn't a coolant level, it's an air-cooled engine. The oil level, it's not really that easy to check on these. They don't have a dipstick, they have a little viewing window. When I laid her up for the winter, the oil that was in there had 250 miles on it. I'd literally changed it, done a ride out of the Norfolk coast, and then she hasn't really moved since. So a few hundred miles on the oil, and there's no evidence of any leaks, so I'm happy with that. This bike, however, the engine oil and the gearbox oil are one and the same thing. So you know when there's a problem because your gear changes become a pain in the arse. It won't go into neutral. So I will know on this ride out. We're not going far, about 50 miles tomorrow. So yeah, really happy with this. I fucking love this bike. Right, I'll put the wing mirror back in a minute. She's ready for a ride out. Let's go. One more thing. Just packing some bits away in the top box, ready for tomorrow's ride. If we come around here, there's a half-drunk bottle of Pepsi Max. I must have forgot it was in there, and that has been in there at least 3 months. Yeah. Do I drink it? Do I try it? Yeah, fuck it, why not? Still a little bit of fizz when I opened it. Yeah, let's see what happens. Do you know, it's all right. It's gone a bit flat. In fact, it's very flat, but it's not gone off, and it's nice and cold. The sun's out. It's actually getting a little warm in here. I've got a cold drink. That happens to be 3 months old. I guess it's like petrol. It doesn't go off nearly as quickly as people tell you. Look at that. Yeah. All right, let's go. I am so happy to be back on this bike. Oh, she hasn't lost anything. Thank you for watching this video on doing stuff and filming it. Please don't forget to press the big button here in the middle to subscribe if you haven't already done so. If you liked what you just saw, please click the like button below and leave a comment letting me know what you liked about it. And as always, thank you for watching.